So in that case, the mode of describing or the way of describing these steps from the initial reactants to the final products in between here, then that's a sequence of steps is referred to as reaction mechanisms. And then we have the relationship between, when we are doing a chemical reaction, for instance, I have the reactants A plus B, and then they are forming products C plus D. And then this set of an equation, we refer to them as reactants. This section of the equation, we refer to it as a reactant, and the other side, this is a product. So there is a relationship between the relative quantities of the substances which are taking part in this kind of a reaction in order to form products. So the ratio between the quantities that is taking place on the reactant sides and the products being formed is what we call the stoichiometric ratio, or stoichiometry. So it is a stoichiometric relationship between the reactants and the products. This is the relative quantities of these substances taking part in the reaction of forming the products. In that case, of course, we are going to see some other reactions which are reversible, and how they are being represented, and try to see how we can be able to go around them. So for that case, in the introduction of chemical kinetics, it is important for us to study such terms as the rate, concentration, molarity, stoichiometry, etc., so that they will assist us to understand whenever we come across specific terms, what does stoichiometry mean. So in this case, I can say that whenever the reactants and the products are being formed, there are specific quantities, of course, which we are going to learn under the topic of one of our videos about the mole concept. We're going to learn about the reaction coefficients. Of course, I can write here. The reaction coefficients are the whole number integers that we put, which precedes the formula for the reacting and the product species. Maybe for instance, I can use A for that, B for that, C for that, and small d for that, lowercase. For this case, all these lowercase letters represent what we call the reaction and the product coefficients. So in that case, they denote the number or the volumes of the reacting species and the product side. So the relationship between the volumes of the reactants and the product side is what specifically we refer to as stoichiometry.